So I want to do two things here for you guys today. First and foremost, I want to hopefully garner some forgiveness in the fact that I haven't posted a video to this channel in a week. And some of you may have assumed, and I'd love to point the finger at or blame BlizzCon and say, this is the reason why, because I was waiting for information to come out, or, I was waiting for, I was at BlizzCon or paying attention to BlizzCon or something BlizzCon. But the fact of the matter is, last week when you guys hopefully watched that video, you may have heard, and I actually mentioned it in that video, just how awful I felt. And as the days went on, it got worse. It got far worse than what I had intended it to be, or really what I thought it was going to be. Not that I intended to be sick, but it got just abysmally bad, where I felt like crap. I was sleeping all day. I'd get home from work, I'd play a little bit of WoW, and then I would just sleep. And I wouldn't get any rest, and I would wake up in the middle of the night and cough and crap up, and, no sleep, and hot, cold. I'd go to work, exhausted, get home, play a little bit of WoW, and do the same thing. And I've been doing that, and today and yesterday, I felt much better. A lot of Mucinex, a lot of cough syrup, a lot of sleeping, a lot of coughing crap up. I know it's disgusting, but I did not, one, feel like, nor did I honestly have the ability to make videos. It's not just simply that I didn't want to. It was the fact that, every 2 seconds I was nodding off and I was coughing, and it wasn't going to work. The second thing I want to do is I want to kind of look at the information dump that we got from BlizzCon. So I'm going to be honest with you guys that last night, and you guys would have had this video today, but last night I recorded audio and I looked back at it, when I finished recording it, and this morning when I was at my regular, 9 to 5, my normal job, and I kept thinking about it, and essentially it boiled down to, I looked at all of the information posted on MMO Champion, and I went down the list, and I said, hey, here are things that I do like. Here are things that I don't like. And as the day went on, I decided that I really did not like that format, because while I'm perfectly fine, as I'm doing right now, an off-the-cuff ranting and rambling session, and some of you guys have even said you enjoy these, just me just spouting things out. It wasn't good. It was not good, and it was not well organized. The flow was bad, and it didn't convey the message that ultimately I'm trying to send out to you guys. So I wanted to kind of, like version 2.0, the new and improved kind of rant about BlizzCon and about the upcoming expansion, at some point, the Battle for Azeroth. So I think overall the message that I want to convey to you guys is, while there are some really cool things and some things that I'd like to talk about, I don't think a lot of the things that we saw there, either we have enough information to make an educated guess as to whether we'll like it or not, or nothing really has surprised us. And what I mean by that is, we kind of knew that we were going to incorporate some of the systems, the artifact weapon, the Mythic Plus, the World Quest, the emissaries. We knew those were going to be incorporated into the next expansion, because Mythic Plus is a great system. It's friggin' amazing. We know that the emissaries, while frustrating from a legendary standpoint, in that you really, towards the beginning of the tier, you felt that you couldn't miss one. I think that's really slacked off a little bit, especially with catch-up mechanics and this bad luck protection that's been buffed over and over again. But World Quests in general, I think, are a good alternative to the daily quests, because it's a lot more variety. You have a list of items that you have available, and you can pick and choose. You can do them all. You can do a couple of them. You can focus in on, whatever. I need resources, or I need relics, or I need artifact power. Those things are good systems, in my opinion, and I'm glad that they're going to carry over into the next expansion. I think that we all knew that we were going to lose our artifact weapon, at least most of us did, but I don't think that we're surprised that we're having a system being put in place that's very similar to it. but it fixes a lot of the issues. So a lot of the issues that I've talked about and that you guys have experienced and seen with the artifact weapon are the fact that at the beginning of the tier, you truly had to make a choice when it came to what traits you picked up. And that was really cool. But now it doesn't matter. You can do a couple of world quests and you have Concordance of the Legion fall and you're making 0 choices. Bad system. I don't like that. I like the fact that you had the ability, and I wish that we still had the ability to make choices. In my mind, I would love a system closer to something like Path of Exile's skill tree, which I'll put a picture up on the screen for you guys just to give you a sense of how overwhelming it is. And you can customize your character to your heart's desire. Every time you level up, you get a point and you can do what you will with it. But that is something that I would have liked, but I think that this system that the artifact weapon put in place, where it's a constant grind and people were killing themselves. Like, we had guys that were just burning out, and I'm sure you guys have experienced it too, where raiders just burnt out, where they were doing constantly the joke of, I only have to do 1,100 ball of souls in order to max out my weapon. That's insanity. That's not a good game. That's insanity right there. So I think that this Heart of Azeroth replacement system is a good alternative. I do like the fact that we now have a system in place, or coming up, that will be put in place, where just because of the content that you do, your artifact, your, whatever they're going to call it, your Heart of Azeroth is going to be better than someone else's because of the content that you do. That if you're a Mythic Raider and I'm a Heroic Raider, your stuff, your numbers should passively, innately be better. And I am so cool with that. The fact that it's not Titan Forging, that's fine, whatever. That would be ridiculous to even consider that from a design perspective. But I think it's going to be an okay system. The one thing that I do have a problem with when we're talking about the systems that are currently in place that are carrying over is the Titan Forge system. I know Blizzard has said that they want to reduce the amount that you get Titan Forged. That way it truly feels like an upgrade. It feels like, whoa, holy crap, I really got lucky. But the frustration isn't the amount. It's the fact that you can kill yourself over and over and over and over and over again farming something, and somebody else can simply get it out of sheer luck. Or that you can do super hard content and somebody can get a heroic version when you're busting your butt in Mythic that are equal. And that's not fair. That's not a good system. A system where, you are rewarded simply based on luck, just as equally as those that are putting in the time and effort, is not a good system in my opinion. I do think that there should be a cap on the amount that something should Titan Forge. And as I've said in a video, several months ago, in a perfect world, what I would love to see, if we're going to keep Titan Forging in the game, which very clearly we are, I'd love to see an ability to catch up to those that have Titan Forge, i.e. what I had suggested several months ago when I looked at rating and the good and the bad when it comes to Legion, is I would love to see a system where you gain Valor points. For those of you that, maybe just started playing in Legion, or I guess maybe, did they have them in Warlords of Draenor? I can't remember if they did or not. I distinctly remember upgrading things. I think they did. I don't remember. Anywho, so the system that they had in place was that you would kill bosses, whether it be, heroic dungeon bosses, which would give you a certain amount, raid bosses, which would give you a larger amount, etc. And you would gain these resources called Valor points, or heroic points, or were they called heroic points at one point? Whatever. And then you could then spend these items to upgrade gear. And I think that would be a really cool system where, the things that are Titan Forgeable, if you get a Titan Forge thing, cool. you feel lucky, you feel like, you're going to do a little bit more DPS, but the guys that have been super unlucky that can't get it can go ahead and put points into their item to upgrade it every week. And maybe, again, there's caps in place, or, certain amount that you can do every week, whatever. But that would be a fair system where you got really lucky, and now for that gear slot, you are weeks ahead of me. But I've seen players that, we had a guy the other night who coined some trinket or something. And we have a second player who's playing the exact same classes as this first player, who has done, he's done LFR, and he's done normal and heroic, and he's doing mythic, and he has not seen it. And every time he sees it, it's obviously given to somebody else, or he sees somebody else coin it, and he's never gotten it. And it's super frustrating. And that's Spin Titan Forging in a nutshell. So the things that I do like that we've seen, I do like the fact that we're dropping the PvP, PvE tag from servers, the rule set, as they say. I am curious, and this is something that I'd like to maybe look at once the expansion or more information, or the expansion drops, is for these low pop servers that are PvP. Are they going to combine them together? Are they going to take some of these lower pop servers in general, since there's no distinction coming up, and crowd everybody together? Are we going to see a merging of servers? I think that we will. I think that it makes sense. I think that some of those lower pop servers could be merged together into maybe a medium pop server. Everybody's happy. You get more players on your realm. It's a benefit for everybody. I do like the fact that we are getting 10 dungeons at launch. I think that seems, and I'm going to have to double check the numbers, that seems like a lot. And I'll put a picture on the screen here where you guys can see how many dungeons were in each of the previous expansions, at least upon release. But I think that's a pretty high number. That sounds high, I think. But I think for the most part, either we don't have a lot of information, we don't know the skills that come with your Heart of Azeroth. We do know, you have a better item, you're going to have better numbers, but what is it going to do? Is it going to be something like a talent tree? Or is it going to be something like relics, where I don't know? Like, can you just unlock them? We don't know yet. And then some of the things that were released, the strongholds, or whatever, is 20-man faction, like scenarios. I don't know enough about it to give an opinion. I'm not too keen on PvP related issues. Not a big PvPer. I'll do the world quests. I'll do a little bit of battlegrounds every once in a while, but overall not a huge PvPer. And I think a lot of the systems we just don't know about. And what concerns me is that I've already had people tell me one way or the other, either, they're totally for or totally against this expansion because of XYZ feature, when it's like, dude, we don't know a lot about it. I will admit that while the cinematic trailer was amazing, holy shit, amazing, I was very underwhelmed by the expansion, at least the information for it. So I think that we need to take a step back, and I know everybody's getting excited with allied races and all these new features and all this, and I really hope that Blizzard can keep up their productions, schedule and continue to push out content. But I think maybe we need to remember that we need to step back for a second and let some of the information come to us, see what the tanking changes that were mentioned, see what the class changes are going to be, and make an informed decision once we get all the information that we need. So hopefully you guys agree with what I'm saying. If you do, or if you don't, leave a comment in the comment section below so we can start a discussion on these things. What are you guys excited for? What things do you concern you system-wise? If you like the video, hit the like button. Dislike the video, definitely hit the dislike button. But tell me why you didn't like it. I want to know so that I can improve for you guys. And until next time, I'll see ya.